कर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Om Namo Narayanaya. We were taking up the subject of the avatarahood, whereby the avatara always comes down to this earth, avatarana, coming down. That is the meaning of avatara, for a certain purpose. So, why do they come? To re-establish the dharma. Swami Vivekananda tells, there comes Mahapurushas, great teachers of humanity, suited to the needs of the times and society. Call them whatever you will, either Mahapurushas, avatars, it matters little. They reveal each in his own life the ideal. I've been again and again telling the avatars, the gods and goddesses, 330 million gods, are so many thousands of years, which has come down to us. What are they? What is God trying to do? It is just one God trying to give us these different ideals suited for different times and different people, so that we can follow that ideal in our life and we can raise ourselves from the animal level to the human level, from the human level to the divine level. So to re-establish the dharma, these people come. They reveal each in his own life the ideal. Then by degrees, shapes are molded in their matrices. Then real men are made. Here men, the term men means, man-making means the development of character or the ideal is called man-making. Men are made. And that's why you see there are so many sects and groups arising in Hinduism, because so many years, thousands of years, this has been time-tested religion coming down to us. Now, going forward, we can see in this avatara, Sri Ramakrishna, what did he do? He used his own personality to test all these ideals and show it to us that they were all true, that it leads to the same goal, that is God. Sri Ramakrishna was an extraordinary searchlight under whose illumination one is able to really understand the whole scope of religion, and especially for us, Hindu religion. He was the object, lesson of all the theoretical knowledge given in the scriptures. So in the scriptures, in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is theoretical knowledge. Unless somebody leaves it and realizes it and shows to us, then only we can understand it and we get inspired, by which we can put that into practice in our life. As we all have heard the wonderful saying of Swami Vivekananda, religion is realization. It is not theory, it is realization. And another beautiful statement of Swami Vivekananda is, an ounce of practice is better than tons of theories. An ounce of practice is better than tons of theories. So now Ramakrishna in his life, he showed by his life what the rishis, the other ideals, the gods and goddesses, the avatars, really wanted to teach all of us. The books left over by them the teachings, they are called, their experiences, scriptures. Now the books are theories. Now, for this age, Ramakrishna was the realization. Swami Vivekananda tells this man, Sri Ramakrishna, in just his 51 years, he lived from 1836 to 1886. So it is 51 years. That's why Swami Vivekananda is telling. This man, Ramakrishna, in 51 years, lived 5,000 years of spiritual national life. Of what? The spirituality had grown in India for more than 5,000 years. He lived that in one life, in 51 years. And so raised himself to be an object, lessons for future generation. That is what the avatara, or whatever we call the different avatars, that is their job to do. They come down to our level and they give us the ideal, the mold for us to follow and raise ourselves to divinity. The difference between, now it comes to all of us, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is merely one of degree in manifestation, says Swami Vivekananda. Conscious efforts lead the way to superconscious illumination. So now Swami Vivekananda comes to the microcosm, that is we, the human beings. And what does he tells? It's a wonderful statement. Infinite perfection is in every man and woman, in all of us. That is what now you can see. God from infinity has come down to our level to show us the ideal. What is that ideal? Now all of us, irrespective of whatever we are, educated, uneducated, old or young, or whichever color, race, all of us human beings, we have infinite perfection in all of us. But why is it not seen in us? It is unmanifested. Every human being has in him the potentiality of attaining to perfect saintliness, rishihood, or to the most exalted state of an avatar. All of us have that infinite possibility hidden, but it is unmanifested now. The lives of these great people, the avatars, inspire us to become one like them. As I told you many times, when we take up one ideal, for example, let us take Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra. He has shown so many good, wonderful ideals in his life. We all go on enumerating it. Satyavakya Paripalaka, he was always truthful. Then Pitruvakya Paripalaka, he was very obedient to his father. And Matru Bhakti, he was highly devoted to his mother. Then Ekapatni Vratastha, he was very loyal and to his wife Sita. Not any other woman he would even look at with any other attitude. He used to see only Mother Sita as his wife. Ekapatni Vratastha. All else he used to see his own mother in them. So all these wonderful qualities Ramachandra has manifested as an avatara, coming down, the Vishnu, the Lord, highest Lord, coming down as a human being, has become the Maryada Purushottama, showing all these beautiful qualities. When we worship him, when we meditate on him, when we think on him, then all these qualities gradually come to us. We inculcate this quality into our personality and we become one with Lord Ramachandra. So if we are becoming the devotees of any god or any goddesses, it is not just worshipping that god or goddess, with some flowers and agarbatti, that is preliminary. But the real worship, the real puja, devotion is when you develop these qualities into your life, the teachings of these gods and goddesses into your life, into your personality, then that is real devotion. Now, as you go on getting these ideals, then what happens? The infinite possibility, as Swami Vivekananda is telling here, the infinite perfection in all of us gets manifested. Every human being has in him the potentiality of attaining to perfect saintliness. Everybody has hopes. All of you know that wonderful saying in English, every sinner has a future, every saint has a past. So all of us have the potentiality of attaining to perfect saintliness, rishihood, or to the most exalted position of even an avatara, or to the greatness of a hero in material discoveries. It is only a question of time and adequate, well-guided investigation, etc., to have this perfection manifested. In a society where once such great men were born, the possibility of their reappearance is greater, says Swami Vivekananda. So wherever, in whichever society, there have been already great men being born, in any society where once such a great men were born, there the possibility of their reappearance is greater. Reappearance means don't wait for another avatar or saint to come. You, every one of you should become that saint. That is the idea. All of us have to manifest. So it is there in us. We have to manifest. Manifest is. There can be no doubt that a society with the help of such wise guides advances faster than the one without such great people. That's why at one place Swami Vivekananda tells, shall India die? He asks the question, shall India die? India here means Hinduism. Will it die? Never. He answers, if India dies, what is going to happen? All that is spiritual, all that is wonderful and great, all the moral values will vanish from the earth. It will never happen. Why? Swami Vivekananda tells, great men who have realized the highest, great saints have trod this earth. They have come again and again. So such a place or such a culture, such a society will never get destroyed because of that. So that's why again and again people will be born. Now, somebody asked Revered Ranganathanandaji Maharaj, what is the question he asked was, Swamiji, Lord Krishna has told that whenever there is decline in righteousness, the avatars come. They are born again and again to lift the adharma and raise it up to dharma, to remove the adharma, unrighteousness, and to bring in the balance, to bring in righteousness, they come again and again. So we see that there are so many avatars and great saints coming only in India and Hinduism. So is that true that righteousness always goes down in Hinduism or India? That was the question. Then to that, Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj answered in a wonderful way. He told, yes, that's true. Krishna has told, whenever there is decline in righteousness, I come down again and again to lift that society to the level of righteousness. Then Ranganathanandaji Maharaj told, there is righteousness in our Hindu religion, in our Indian society, so there will be decline always. In your society, there was no righteousness, then where is the question of decline? So there was no need of any avatara coming down. At once, I think one of the avatara tried to be born in your place, but he was crucified. And after that, no avatars tried to come there. Have you seen in Hinduism any prophet or any avatars being crucified or killed? Not at all. Lord Buddha, who criticized Vedas, who found out all the faults in Hinduism, was allowed to live for more than 80 years. He was respected. So that is Hinduism. That is our great society where all the avatars are respected and they take those wonderful ideals and leave that ideal. So not so in other countries or in other societies. That's why one person came to Swami Vivekananda and told, yes, Swamiji, the life of Buddha is wonderful, but his death is not so interesting. Why? He died a very peaceful death. But all in our religion, we see that all the prophets are either killed or crucified or they are murdered. But here, Buddha had a very peaceful death. So it doesn't augur well. So for them, a prophet should always be killed or it should be murdered. That is the idea in the Western life. But in our society, it is not so. Now, in a society where once such great men were born, there the possibility of their reappearance is greater. There can be no doubt that a society with the help of such wise guides advances faster than the one without it. Again, I'll bring your mind to that wonderful statement of Swami Vivekananda. What is that? If a person with an ideal, if he commits 1,000 mistakes, a person without ideal may commit 50,000 mistakes. Is it not good to commit 1,000 mistakes than 50,000 mistakes? That's why have an ideal in your life. And these wonderful saints, avatars, the gods and goddesses are the ideals. As I again told you, gave the example of Rama, Ganesha. What does the ideal he represent? Matru Bhakti, Brahmacharya. What does Anjaneya he represent? The love towards the master, the service, the karma yoga, that wonderful devotion, dasya bhakti, that wonderful service to his master Ramachandra, and brahmacharya. Like that, all gods and goddesses in Hinduism, they represent these wonderful ideals. So as the devotees, if we take up any of the ideal, then we should become one like them, at least not in perfection. We can try to get all those ideals slowly, gradually into our life. That's why Swami Vivekananda is telling, there can be no doubt that a society with the help of such wise guides advances faster than the one without such ideals. But it is equally certain that such guides will rise up in the society that are now without them and will lead them to equally rapid progress in the future. Now, I will take up one aspect of our religion. As I told you, why is Swami Ramakrishna called as Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa? Because he practiced all the paths. He practiced all the ideals of all the gods and goddesses and realized them in this one life. That's why we call him Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa. Now let us see, how did he practice? As we all know, he practiced Christianity, plus practiced Islam and other religions too. But did he practice any offshoot of Hinduism, just like Sikhism or Buddhism or Jainism? Yes, let us see. What was his contact with the Sikhism, the Sikh religion, which is an offshoot of Hinduism? Ramakrishna as the Sikh Guru Nanak. Ramakrishna heard about Buddha, the Jain Mahavir, and Shankara, and based some of the teachings upon their messages. The master remarked about Buddha. Buddha was definitely an incarnation of God. There is no difference between his religion and the Vedic path of knowledge. Not one philosophy has Ramakrishna given up. We think that master never had any university education. You can see here he was master of philosophy. You know, there is one thing called MPhil, master of philosophy. So master of philosophy was not just academically just having some theoretical knowledge. He took up all the philosophies and he practiced and got the result of it. But our academic degree and master degree holders limit it only to theories. But Ramakrishna practiced it and went to the end of it. Now, Ramakrishna is telling about Buddha and Buddhism. Buddha was definitely an incarnation of God. There is no difference between his religion and Vedic path of knowledge, the Vedas. In the master's room at Dakshineshwar, there were stone images of Mahavira Tirthankara of Jains and a portrait of Christ. The master would wave incense before both of them. Although he adored and respected them, he never said that the Tirthankaras of the Jains and the 10 gurus of Sikhism from Nanak to Govind were incarnations of God. Then who were these Guru Nanak up to the Guru Gobind, the 10 Sikh gurus, as some of our scriptures tell? Janaka Maharaja, the father of Mother Sita, who was a great Gnani, he had a desire to serve humanity. Because of that desire, he came down as the 10 gurus of Sikhism. That is the belief about the 10 gurus of Sikhism. The master said, they are all incarnations of sage Janaka. I heard from some Sikhs that the royal sage Janaka had a desire to do good to humanity before he attained liberation. That is why he was born 10 times as 10 gurus from Nanak to Guru Gobind Singh, established religion among the Sikhs, and then merged forever into the Supreme Brahman. There is no reason to disbelieve this statement of the Sikhs. Now, we have heard this from Sri Ramakrishna himself. So he had thorough knowledge of Sikhism. It is mentioned in the Ramakrishna literature that Rama, Krishna, Jesus, Chaitanya, and others merged into the body, master's body. But there is no mention of Buddha, Mahavir, Muhammad, Nanak, or Shankaracharya merging into him. During the master's time, there was a government magazine. That is where they used to store the arms and ammunitions of the British era, the army, at the north side of Dakshineshwar Temple Garden. There, a group of Sikh soldiers were stationed there to protect it. Sometimes they would come to the master for spiritual advice, and other times they would invite him to their quarters for food. Swami Ambikananda said, the Sikh guards of the magazine first called master. They were the ones who gave Sri Ramakrishna for the first time the adjective Paramahamsa. Now we call Ramakrishna as Paramahamsa. Why that term or that adjective is given to any saint or any avatara, the Paramahamsa? We all know about the bird, that is swan, Hamsa, Hamsa Pakshi. Why is it so revered? Why is it the mount of Mother Saraswati? Why is it so revered in our scriptures? The reason is, if you give a mixture of milk and water mixed together, the bird has the capacity to separate the water and just take in only the milk. Likewise, here in our life, we have the capacity of discrimination, which is called viveka, the discernment, the power of discernment, the power of viveka. We don't use it. So what is this viveka or power of discrimination? To judge or discriminate between the right and the wrong, between the good and the bad, between the God and that which is not God. So when a person goes to the higher state of spiritual life, gives up all materialistic and worldly things and takes to only to the truth, then he gets this term, Hamsa. Then he goes to the supreme height of consciousness where He doesn't want anything other than God and God alone, the highest state. Then he gets the term Paramahamsa. Now, it is for the first time, it is the Sikhs who gave Sri Ramakrishna this term Paramahamsa. So we got a wonderful thing about how could Sri Ramakrishna get this. On this day, we are very lucky to know that the master would joyfully move around this bale tree. The people of the Punjab are very devoted to monks and gurus, that is the Sikhs, and they serve holy people with great respect. Observing Sri Ramakrishna's exalted state of spirituality, the Sikhs remarked, "Look, this man is a Paramahamsa." From that time on, Master had the name Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So we will continue our study of life of Sri Ramakrishna, whereby we will learn what is all the spiritual values, what is ideal, what is that Sarva Deva Devi Swarupa, why so many gods and goddesses in Hinduism, what are those ideals, how to practice them. So Ramakrishna has come as an avatara to show us in his life all the ideals which were practiced in Hinduism for thousands of years. So we'll continue the study on this satsang days, slowly, gradually. So today we have got this idea of Sikh religion. And what was that ideal practiced by Sikh religion? I can take up those values, some of the values. What do they worship? How do they worship? What is their ideal? What is the teachings given by the Sikh gurus? I can take up a little in the next satsang and explain it to you, and how they have led a wonderful Sikh society. The religion is practiced with so much of ardent devotion. What is that Sikh religion? They tell, I have also found in India and everywhere, their gurus always advocated hard work. You will never find one single beggar in Sikhism. One single beggar, go to any corner of the world, you cannot find. Because all the Sikh gurus have advised, you have to work hard and then only eat and then only enjoy this life. So not one single beggar can you see. You can see Hindus, they're so shy to wear the Indian dresses. But see the Sikhs, all of the Sikhs, they will wear the pagadi. That wherever they go to the army, they go to Canada, they go to England, they will never give up their religion. But we Hindus are so shy. We don't want to show it to the other things. We all, cover up ourselves. We imitate the West. No, the Sikhs will never give up. So you can see some of that ideals. I'll try to bring in the religion of Sikhism and how Sri Ramakrishna practiced in that life. So we are taking up that ideals, the Hinduism and its offshoot. What are those ideal? How is it practiced? What is religion? So we will study slowly, gradually, all of that and understand. For today, this much is enough. We will just meditate on that idea and see what is true spirituality and try to bring all those beautiful ideals in our life and understand what is true religion and realize it. Again, once again, with the teaching, religion is realization, not just theories. Religion is realization. We have to realize those truth, the ideals. Thank you one and all. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.